Hello, gorgeous souls. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I have a message that I feel I need to share with you today, and I'm not gonna lie, this has been the last 10 minutes of my life or so. Very nerve wracking. I feel very anxious sharing this. Definitely where my heart is like pounding out of my chest, just all the feels. I've thought about not pushing the button many times and just saying, forget it, I don't need to share it. But there's something inside my heart and soul saying that somebody needs to hear this today. And with my work, that is the most important piece, right? Is that I share from my heart and my soul, whether it's something that I feel good about sharing, but it needs to be shared. So a little bit about my past life, it feels like, honestly. Hi, Amy. So when I left, when I graduated from my high school, I was still, I had 2 months before my 18th birthday. And so I was still living at home. I wasn't allowed to move out till my 18th birthday. And I decided to move out on my 18th birthday, but I didn't tell my parents because I was in a really tumultuous relationship with them. And I just didn't care, right? I didn't care about anything, anyone, not even myself. And I definitely didn't care what my parents thought. So I moved out on my 18th birthday. My sister kind of took me in and let me live there. And it was a little crazy time for me. She was getting ready to have a baby. And I probably shouldn't have moved in there because, I caused chaos in her world and her life. And so what happened was I started hanging out before I had graduated with some people that probably weren't the best for my future. And again, I was in a time in my life though where I just didn't care, right? I was in such a space of self-sabotage and self-hatred and just didn't really care about life and what happened. And so through this group of friends, mostly male friends. I had like one female friend and it was her and I and the guys, right? And so the guys, when you're hanging with the guys at that age and just being crazy, it's kind of a reckless life, right? And so I was introduced to crystal meth when I was 18. And the night that we very first did it, I was instantly addicted. I instantly was like, this is what I've been looking for. I felt so good and I felt so powerful and I felt so strong and I didn't have a care in the world. And the guys that I was with, they were just, they were the guys, right? We're just being crazy and partying. And it became this really chaotic night where some of them ended up getting sick. Then I took theirs and I did all of theirs and it just kept going. And I pretty much from that day that I did it, I just didn't stop. And so, it ended up causing massive drama and trauma in my life, honestly. At the time though, because I didn't care and I was all focused on just being this rebel and going against the world and being one of the guys and always coming back to needing to be perfect in my body and skinny. It gave me a way to not eat, right? To not sleep, to lose massive amounts of weight, but feel like I'm on top of the world until I came down. And then what happens, you come down and you literally want to commit suicide and you literally feel like you're losing your mind and you literally hallucinate and all these things happen and you haven't slept for days and you're just kind of like a zombie and you don't even know who you are anymore. You truly lose who you are at the core level of who you are. And I didn't care, I just, like I said, it was just such an intense time for me. And so I started recognizing though that I was in a really bad space. I wasn't working. I didn't have a job. I was homeless. I didn't have a place to live. I ended up leaving my sisters because I got pretty much kicked out. I would just, couch surf from different guy friends and friends, the one girlfriend that I had. And it just became a really bad time because things were starting to happen with me and around me that were going to lead to either me being arrested or me dying. And I knew that, it hurts thinking about it now. Cause it was such a rough time. I really did not want to cry. Anyway, I didn't realize at the time that I really needed to heal some really deep trauma And so I used that drug and that addiction to escape my life. I actually wanted to die, and I think I was trying to, in a way, slowly kill myself, or quickly, whatever it was. So anyway, I got to this point where nothing was working. And I mean nothing. Like, I had no money left. I spent all my money on drugs. I spent all my savings. I didn't go to the college that I got a scholarship to for art. I let my art go. I just let everything go. And I got to a point where I had this one friend from the past that was friends with all of us. And he was one of my closest friends and had been forever. Like, even one of my sister's closest friends. And so we had this relationship for a really long time. And he was the one that I went to when I was like, I can't be around these people anymore. I don't know what to do, but I'm in this environment, right? I'm living in this town and I'm kind of feeling stuck in this world. And he kind of came to the rescue, right? So I would hang out with him. He did not do any of that. We would just hang out. We'd spend time together. And he helped me connect back with my dad so that I could stay there and have a place that was safe, right? A place where I was safe and I wasn't around the same people. And then I realized as well that because I was in such a small town, I really just needed to get out. I needed to leave. And so he was the one that helped me get my stuff together and took me away to a place that was where my extended family lived. And so I went there and, moved in with some cousins and then stayed with my aunt and just began a new life, right? I literally began a new life. I was like, I cannot live like this. I am going to die, or I'm going to kill somebody, right? Who knows, right? I was so reckless at the time. And I needed to literally uproot from my environment and literally create a new life. And I knew that there was more for me, but at the time I didn't even know how that looked or what it looked like. And so, he took me and I was there. And so then I just created new, right? I created new friends. I created a new life. I did end up falling into some stuff when I was there as well. But then I moved again, like I said, to my aunt's, where it was like a better place, a better life. I had a job. I ended up getting a loan and getting a car. And so that whole year of like total chaos was just horrible, and then led to like me transferring, right? Transferring my life, transferring my awareness, transferring how I lived, truly how I lived, to be able to be in a new space, in a new place. And so right before I had left that area and moved back, so my friend that had took me there, he got killed in a motorcycle accident. And when that happened, it really like brought me back down, and I wanted to be around other people, like my really close family, my sister and everybody in my life that I had known from the past but weren't part of that group that caused me to go downhill. And so I moved back, and of course I could have went back, right, to the same people, to the drugs, to whatever, but I didn't, because I knew I wanted a different life. And so I started creating that. And to look back now on this 23 or 2 years later, whatever it is, I look at these moments where I was in some very really gross spaces and places, very unsafe spaces and places, just so much of like literally taking my life for granted, right? And slapping God in the face as like, whatever, you gave me this life, but I'm just gonna like throw it all away, right? And now that, so I'm writing my book right now, and these things come up, and that's one reason I'm sharing this, is because it's come up through my writing that I need to share that no matter what, right? No matter what you have been through, you are not your past. No matter what, and whoever you grow up with, right? You are not your family. No matter what, you are not the stories that limit you from creating whatever you want in your life. Because the truth is, we get the moment, every single moment, every present moment is our moment to change our life and to create something new. And when we can go from having such trauma growing up into creating more trauma for ourselves, into living a horrible lifestyle, and then saying, you know what, I'm changing this, right? I choose this right now to be in a different space. We create it, right? The universe gets behind us and says, okay, let's do this. But you got to be able to step up and take responsibility for the fact that things are not working because you're not having them work out for you, right? That's one thing that has been really hard for me, and I think is for a lot of people. So I just want to share with you a couple of lessons that I learned through that journey. And that was like one piece of my journey, by the way. It's been such a wild ride. I really feel like I've lived like 7 or 10 lifetimes in this lifetime, because I've been through so many different things and places and spaces that have just made me who I am today. So the first lesson is that you will find a way to get what you want. You will find a way, right? If you want that meth, or you want a new life, or you want to get out of a relationship, or you want whatever if you really, 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 really fucking want something, you will find a way to get it. And sometimes you'll do it at the expense of everyone else. Sometimes you'll do it in a way that's not kind or not legal or whatever, but you will find a way to get what you want. So my question to you is, what do you really want in your life now, and what are you willing to do to get it? Because you can get what you want, but you have to commit to it. The second lesson is that the blame and shame game, it never, ever, ever serves you. I carried so much shame with the way that I lived and what I created in my life when I was just like so like I felt helpless and hopeless, and I just carried so much shame, and I'd already had so much shame from what had happened in my life when I was younger. And so when you're carrying shame and you're blaming the circumstances and the people and the way you grew up and how you don't have a mentor, you don't know what this looks like, or whatever it is that you are carrying the shame and the blame of, it's never going to serve you, right? That is a truth beyond all truths, that when you allow yourself to free yourself, to shed the layers of shame and to not put the blame on anything or anyone else, you actually become completely liberated, and it gives you a new space to live from. And we all can use healing, right? No matter where you are in your life, no matter how amazing you feel everything is, we all can still use healing, especially in this world that we're in. So let yourself know that the blame and the shame does not have to live in you forever. And when you allow yourself to shed those layers, you become liberated from anything, and then you can create anything. And that's the third one, is that you can create a new reality in any given moment, and it is totally possible. And if you have an environment that you surround yourself with that's positive, right? With starting to have positive thoughts, surrounding yourself with positive human beings, having yourself interact with people in a positive way, instead of, again, going into blame and shame and no personal responsibility and poor me and all of that stuff that comes up. When you have a positive environment that's supportive, you can create anything that you want, anything, because anything that you desire is actually already there. It's already in creation. It's just you need to bring it in through your system and through your body. And then the last one is, had I not, the lesson that really for anyone who, I mean, we all go through pain, right? Whether it's losing someone in your life, or whether it's going through childhood trauma, or whether it's making a choice that you don't love that maybe caused you to have a massive life transformation, or maybe it's your family, living in a certain way that really caused you pain. So we all have pain. We all go through emotional, painful experiences. But had I not went through the pain that I went through and that I created, I would not be living my life how I am right now, being so passionate to bring women and lead women back to their truth. And the truth is, you are limitless, you are capable, you are whole, you are perfect, you are complete, you are sacred, you are powerful. And that's the true truth of who you are. There is nothing outside of you. It's all within you. But you have to let yourself get to a point in your life where you see the reality of where you're holding yourself back, where you need to take personal responsibility, where you need the healing, where you need to ask for support, where you need to maybe change your environment, and then you do it, right? It's about creating a new way by being in a new way. It's all embodiment, right? When I was living that horrible freaking life and I was so at the edge of death, I'm pretty sure that I was not embodying success, and I wasn't embodying bliss, and I wasn't embodying health, and I wasn't embodying anything that was high vibration. I was embodying hatred and pain and anger and death, right? So that's what I was living. So I really needed to share this message today. As I'm writing my book, everything is becoming even more clear that there's so many things that people need to understand, not about me in general, but about humans, right? How we all have stuff we're going through. Every single one of you is going through your own inner battle. it's a truth. Every time I host retreat, I see these women come in, and you'll have the ones that look like everything is perfect and they have this perfect body and perfect life, but yet they're still going through something that needs healed and needs transformed and needs to be shed so that they can feel liberated. So that is my invitation to you right now, is if you're in this place where you know it's time to choose a different environment, be in that supportive place, have the healing, the transformation, and the fun and sacredness that comes with celebrating all of who you are and being able to really shed those layers that are not serving you anymore. The Bliss Embodied Retreat in Bali is coming up. There's only 7 days left of the early bird pricing. And so if this is something that's calling to you, you will find a way, right? If you want it, you will find a way to make it happen. If you want to create that new reality, doing so in an environment with women that are so ready, right? So ready to create the abundance and be in the support and heal the pieces and be convening with Mother Nature and experiencing the magic, right? That's how it happens. It's that environment and the support system that you surround yourself with of positivity. You know, I need you to know that you did not go through what you've been through for no reason, right? There's a reason we go through these painful experiences. They give us passion to live our life in a different way. Even if that's not serving like I am with this, being a self-empowerment mentor, even if it's not serving in that way, you're still in a space of being able to be passionate about something in your life because you've went through that pain, okay? And that's what I needed to share with you today. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for listening, for being in this space with me, for letting me cry and shed all my shit too, because it's a process, right? It's a journey. It never ends. I'm still going. I'm more passionate and motivated now to lead more women back to their truth. And if that's you, then this is calling to you. Reach out to me. If you need payment options, I'm here for you, okay? Have an amazing day. Sat Nam.